turn on the power of the computer. So when you just start it, uh, as you know that the RAM lose its data when the power is off, but the ROM does not lose its data. So that permanent programs that is part of the operating system will be stored inside the ROM, which is called the BIOS. As you start the computer, this permanent program, which is the BIOS, helps computer what to do next. For example, the computer would be run with the help of the operating system, and that part of the operating system would be loaded from hard disk into the RAM with the help of the BIOS. That BIOS is a program or number of programs which is stored inside the ROM. As you turn on the power, it tells the computer to take data from the hard disk and store on the RAM. Even some part of the BIOS program also go to the RAM, and then the computer starts its function and do its routine work. So without this BIOS, the computer can never start, because the computer takes data from the hard disk and then execute it. So if BIOS is not over there, the computer cannot take data from the hard disk because the RAM would be empty. So BIOS help to take some data which would be in the form of the operating system, some part of the operating system, it load it inside the RAM, and then this operating system, those programs helps the computer to run. Now this is story about the BIOS. The cache memory is a small RAM that is used to store a limited amount of frequently used data that can be accessed much faster than main RAM. The cache stores close and close at the end information that will be used again instead of having to retrieve it from further away in the memory. I already explained the cache story, so here I will elaborate a little more. As you know that cache is a fast memory, and normally it is faster than the RAM. Perhaps your RAM is the dynamic RAM, so definitely the cache would be faster than it. Even if the RAM is static RAM, still the cache organization is such that it would be faster than that. In the cache, what you keep? You keep those data and instructions which are oftenly used by the central processing unit. So those data and instructions which the microprocessor or the central processing need, it will first search in the cache, and if it is available in the cache, it is called the hit, and if it is not available in the cache, it is called miss. Most of the time, the microprocessor or the central processing unit gets data when it search from the cache. So immediately it will take data from the cache, which is faster, so the operation would also be faster. If it is not found in the cache, then the central processing unit takes the data from the RAM and then keep a copy of the data inside the cache as well, so that if it is used in the next, then it would be accessed easily with fast operation. So this is the role of the cache. There may be level 1 cache, level 2 cache, or maybe more than that. So if it is level 1 and level 2 cache, then it means that level 1 cache would be outside the microprocessor and 1 cache would be inside the microprocessor. But nowadays the computers use several caches, so it may be 4 caches or maybe more than that to fasten the operation. The hard disk, which is also part of the memory and storage. You know that what is the hard disk? The hard disk is basically used to store data, large amount of data it stores, and the hard disk is non-volatile And you know that the hard disk is magnetic memory. It can keep the data for long time. And then we come to the removable storage. Uh, the removable storage would be in the form of the CD-ROM, in the form of the floppy, and in the form of the zip disk, which is also just like the floppy, and in the form of the uh, CD,